A new poll shows that most Americans blame people rather than policy for rising homelessness in the US. According to a new AP North poll, about 8 in 10 Americans say that homelessness has increased in the United States over the last 25 years, and most also say it's increased in their own community. Individuals get a substantial amount of blame for the problem. Most Americans say personal choices, mental health issues, and substance abuse are major factors in why people are homeless, compared to 45% who blame a lack of government support. Even despite that, just over half of US adults say the government actually spends too little on people in need. It can feel a little contradictory, but experts told us that people are broadly generous and want the government to help people, even if they don't think the government is the source of the problem. The poll surveyed more than 1,000 Americans in late August.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Hey, what's going on, family? This is Tyler for No Picks Podcast.
What up, family? Joe, No Picks Podcast.
All right, Joe. So this AP knock poll that she was referencing suggested that most Americans blame people more than policies for the rise in homelessness. What's your thoughts on that?
Blaming people for homelessness?
Like blaming, like most of it was their personal choices. It was like she said, like 57% of Americans believe that it's your personal choice. Then it was the next one was mental illness, and then the third one was drug addiction. So they had those three things at the top of the list as far as the rising rate of homelessness.
That's a loaded question, bro. I think that I don't know, man. I don't think so, bro. I think it's a combination of things. It's a hard question to answer, right? Because everybody's situation is different. I personally know people in my life, now and before, who are no longer in my life, that like I've seen them make bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. I've spoken to men in my life, especially men, because women, you got to have a different conversation. But I've spoken to men, and I'm like, bro, listen, the world don't owe you understanding. The world don't care about your excuses. You are a man. You got to go out there and build yourself up, create your value. You know, the whole thing that we know already. I said, and you're on a path where like you ain't stacking up bread. You're not planning for your future. All you got is, if you're lucky, a high school diploma. You have no post-secondary education. You are unskilled labor. I'm like, what are you doing right now? You see what I'm saying? Like, and then they get stressed out, but it's like, all right, if you need more money, then you should either be working more jobs or looking for a job that pays you enough that you ain't got to work multiple jobs. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I definitely see people who you try to help them, and no matter what, they make crappy decisions.
Right.
And sometimes their parents will bail them out, and they'll live with their parents until they're like 30. I still know men like that who still live with mom and dad, and they're like 35. You know what I mean? Like they just didn't want to do anything, and mom and dad will save them. But for those who don't have that, they end up on the streets. So I think it's a mixed bag. I think that I don't know. I want to unpack this a bit, right? I'm gonna try to give you a better answer, but I think it's complicated.
Right.
And it's not so black and white. What do you think?
So I separate the mental illness aspect of this. Then, like I separate the mental illness aspect, because I think if you have mental illness, then you're in a whole different situation. Like it's like you can't really compare mental illness with anything else, with voluntary drug use and personal choices. Those were the other two things that they mentioned, which is why I mentioned those specifically. So if you have mental illness, you schizophrenic, and you got like whole issues and got all these other things going on, then you're in a whole different situation. And I don't know what can help you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know where we are in society where that could help you now. I mean, so I separate them from the whole homelessness issue, right? Because I think there are exceptions. Those situations are exceptions, and they deserve all the empathy and all the sympathy, all the ithies in the world, right? Like they deserve all of that. But I do know a lot of people like you mentioned, bro. Like a lot of it is personal choice. So I think about me personally, right? So I could bring personal instances, but I just, from my perspective, in order for you to be a person that doesn't have any mental issues, how many layers of f up do you have to have in order to actually be homeless on the street? How many people do you have to f over in order to go all the way down to the levels to be absolutely destitute and homeless, right? So I have family, I have friends, I have probably exes I can reach out to and be like, hey, can I live with you and all, like, you know what I mean? Like, there are so many levels to where I would have to mess up all those relationships in order to be in the street and homeless.
Right.
So to me, I'm like, that's people who end up in that situation. It's like, bro, like, I don't think the problem is everybody else. The problem is you. So it's like, let's say I got like 8 aunts that I could live with, right? I probably got 3 uncles I could live with. I got multiple cousins, right? I got friends, right? I maybe 10 friends I can think of at the top of my head to be like, okay, yo, bro, listen, if you don't let me live with you, I'm probably gonna be homeless in the street. They'd be like, all right, okay, cool. Come get a train down here, come get a plane down here. Cool, you can live with us for a couple of months. Cool. Exes. You mean like, it's like something like, hey, come live with me. You can stay on my couch, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Like, and so in order for me to get to the point where I'm absolutely homeless, I would have to do something grimy to each one of those personal relationships. Which is like, okay, at that point, ain't it you? It's not really everybody else. It's not the world. It's not the system. It's you at that point, because you screwed over all your family, all your friends, all these other people that you could have, that you had previous relationships with, that didn't want to see you go homeless, but you ended up homeless. It's because you effed all of them over in some way or another. So at that point, it's you. You're the problem.
I know people like that. I don't know what percentage of homeless people are like that, but I do know people like that too, Ty. Like, I know people like that who I'm just like, I know, like, you're going to be homeless. You are going to you are on a path to be destitute. Like, you're going to be unhoused, because this is what you're doing right now is just ridiculous, bro. Like, like, no, but I love that term, bro. No, but I got a question, Ty, and I feel like I kind of know the answer, or maybe I don't, so I don't want to assume, right? When you see homeless people anywhere, do you assume that they are just either lazy or incompetent or just degenerates who effed people over and ran out of and burnt all their bridges? Like, do you assume? Does your mind go there first? Like, you just assume that they just made a lot of bad choices?
I assume that they
You know
have
what I
mental
mean?
issues. I assume
That
they
is,
have mental issues.
are you? Yeah, well, that could be it, right? Because if you go to like LA has a lot of mentally ill people running around, and they are part of the homeless, and they're just running around the city, bro. They're just walking around the city. There's a lot of mental illness in LA, and I saw that firsthand when I was studying out there, right? Because like, I don't know if the number has gone up or down, but remember, it used to be that a quarter of homeless people were veterans, right? I think about that population where it's like, yo, 1/4 of the homeless people out there are people who served in our military. And I think, as a country, have we failed them? And also, is that mental illness? Because they have post-traumatic stress disorder. They have issues with, TBIs, or, so CTE, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But, I know there's that. I know that, a lot of people lost their housing, like in the housing crash. It happened, I think, in 2009, when the housing market crashed and the bubble crashed and so many people lost their homes. That wasn't their fault. You know what I'm saying? Those people had they were earning their money the right way. They owned their homes. They were paying their mortgages. And then the housing market crashed and people literally lost their homes. And then we bailed out the banks while people went homeless. That wasn't their fault. You know what I'm saying? And then also, the number one reason that people go bankrupt in this country is because we've said it a few times: medical bankruptcy. It's when you get sick or you need a surgery that you can't afford, and it bankrupts them, right? So then those people are either homeless or just struggling through life. That wasn't their fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I can't say it's your fault for getting cancer or for getting something that, you know what I mean? Like, something that you need medicine for and you can't afford it. Like, so I think that there are some situations you're like, yo, this is more common than we think. And for those people, I think it wasn't their fault. Could they have tried harder? Did they exhaust all their options? That I don't know, because I know that you said it earlier, and I agree with you. As a man, like, I'm like, I got mouths to feed. I have people who depend on me. Failure is not an option for me. I mean, that's the easy way out, is to just fail and just give up, right? And that's not an option for people like us. So I can't understand people who just quit. But anyway, that's what I was saying. Like, it depends on people's situation, bro. Like, and America has a big homeless population, bro. They really, really do. Like, and it's gotten worse. I mean, I know you've seen it, and I've seen more women. And we talked about that. We said we didn't see a lot of women like maybe 15 years ago, and now I'm seeing more women out there. And I'm like, I see more shorties than I did when I was growing up now too. So the population is rising. Even if you go to Philly downtown, like, I don't know if you've been at Philly down in Center City, like at night, but those really nice parks like Washington Square, like Rittenhouse Square at night, bro. Those are like homeless cities. I walked past there a few times at night, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. In the morning, it's
Mm.
beautiful. It's Center City. They clean it up. But at night, bro, all the homeless people living in those parks now. And I'm like, I have never seen this before. So I don't know, bro. I'm glad that you don't assume that they're just like degenerates or like just gave up. I'm glad. I'm sure some of them did, but like that's why I was wondering. Like, do you just think that they're all just like crappy human beings who just gave up? You know what I mean? Because that's not where my mind goes. I feel like everyone has a story.
Because for me, like, so say you got your crib, I got my crib. No matter how much I love a relative, like if they're just like waking up and punching holes in the fucking walls, I'm like, you can't live here. Like, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, you gotta be unhoused.
You gotta no, because you bring problems sometimes when you bring certain people into your home, bro.
Yeah.
Like you do. They could probably rob you. They could try to hit on your spouse. They could try, you know what I mean? Like I've heard horror stories, you know what I mean? Like so it really does depend. It really
just
does.
imagine the person you love the most. You got a brother X, and you bring your brother in the crib. You and your family, your wife they wake up in the middle of the night and they have a bad dream or episode or whatever, and they punch 4 holes in your basement, fuck
Right.
your drywall up. You like
Right.
what the fuck? Like you're leaving immediately. Like there's no converse. Like you can't live here.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, but like you can't live here. Like so. I assume that that's typically the case with most people that are homeless, because most people don't want to be homeless. Most people, I believe most people will do literally everything in their power not to be homeless.
Yeah. I would hope. I really would hope.
How terrible of an existence is that? Like you're just out here. If it's 100 degrees, you hot as shit outside. If it's 0 degrees, you cold as shit outside. You know what I mean? Like you don't want that. Like you don't want that existence.
Right.
I mean, a squirrel might come rip your nuts off. Like, there's a lot of things that can happen, I assume, right? Like, no, but like, it's like I would imagine that people do everything in their power not to be homeless. But for the people that are homeless, I think that they couldn't. They either they were, like I said earlier, they fucked up all those lines of help all the way down the line to where now that they're homeless, or that they have just like mental issues where people that they love and people who love them are just like, you can't live in my house. Now you can come for Thanksgiving, you can come for Christmas, you can chill. But nigga, after everybody leave, you gotta leave too, because I don't want you punching holes in my bathroom. I don't want you me pissing on my wall because you felt like, I don't know, like that's what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it. I'm sorry.
Or bringing shorties to the crib. Like, what, bro? Like, I understand you gotta go somewhere else and do that, bro. Like, this ain't your home. You can't just bring shorties here, different shorties every night around my kids, around my family. You know what I mean? Anything like that, right? So all right, so this is interesting, Ty. So do you think that, so for me, when I think about a person who's homeless, I think about for some of them how hard it could be to get yourself back up, pick yourself back up, right? Because if you're homeless, a lot of them are homeless. They don't have consistent access to showers. They don't have good clothes. I don't know if they're able to find work or find jobs because of how they look and how they smell. Like I'm trying to figure out how hard it is for a homeless person to like really dig deep and just like get themselves out of that homelessness state. You know, how I don't know if it's that, I don't know how hard that is to do. So I wish I can't really put myself in their shoes because I don't know what that struggle is like too. So I guess, you know, I'm trying to say like how easy is to get out of that circumstance where you're homeless to get back on the right path and get a job. How you get a job? Most of the time when you get a job, you got to have an address. They'll ask you, where do you live? And if you don't have an address to give them, so you can't even apply for certain benefits if you don't have a physical address. You see what I'm saying? Like, so how do you pick yourself back up after that?
I don't know, bro. It's a tough question. I mean,
you know what I mean? Like, is there a pathway for that? I don't know, bro.
I mean, no, that's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know if you can. Like, I mean.
And remember, most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. We're lucky. Well, no, we're not lucky. We worked hard and we got to where we are now. I'm tired of saying we're lucky. We worked hard for what we got, bruh. But a lot of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. They have nothing in their savings. They don't have at least 3 months worth of savings if they lose their jobs. Right. Like that's most Americans. So like you could have one bad accident at work or get laid off, and who knows what happens from there when you have no savings and you're living paycheck to paycheck. So that's a thing too. Like it could be really easy for someone to become homeless. I feel like it's hard. So I don't know, bro. It's a loaded question. That's why I said from the beginning, like, damn, like how do you even answer that question? Is it just people making bad choices? Is it like personal behavior? I don't know, bro. It's complicated. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, let us know what y'all think, family. Yeah, this could be a good conversation. This could be a good question for the community or whatever. Like put on a community tab, John, or whatever. And take
Yeah,
a
and if
poll
anybody
about it.
was homeless, what was it like? How did you pick yourself back up? Like, did you couch surf? Did you like? I would be so interested if somebody shared that story, like that you were homeless and like what got you out of that, because
You see,
I feel like
now
it's almost
see with the
impossible.
couch surfing, I think for me, like that's like the minimum, John. Right? So it's like that's like couch surfing is before you become homeless. But I feel like couch surf, you could couch surf for a long ass time if people like you, if people think that you're like a reasonable person,
And trustworthy.
um, trustworthy,
Like you
right?
ain't
Like
gonna touch
I
my
could leave,
kids or like you know what I mean?
I could leave you in my house and go to work.
Right, right,
But if
right.
you're not on that type of time, it's like, and so if like I said, that's where I mentioned earlier. If you break down, if so many people been like nah, the problem is you at a certain point.
Yeah. No, no,
So
no.
it's like
Yeah, it
all
is.
these people who are unrelated. That's like like think that like they don't want you in their house.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, bro. Like listen, I know a lot of people that would let me sleep on their couch for a while. Like I know a lot of people that let me sleep, but it's like
yeah.
if you on that type of time where nobody will let you, like, people are like, listen, I, I would rather you sleep under a bridge than sleep on my couch for a couple of days. I think the problem might be you, yo.
You might be the issue. Like, what are you doing with your life that you have no positive relationships that'll help you stay afloat for a few months? Like, I don't even need a bed. Just give me a ground, give me a spot in the garage. Like, just let me rock out so I can stack up some bread and get out of here. You know, like if you ain't got nobody who will look out for you,
Just be
damn.
humble. Like you can't just be humble and chill and grind. Now, if I come in the
Yeah.
crib and you got your feet up playing my PlayStation, then I'm like, oh, you got to get the fuck up out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, you like if you got time to just chill, eat my fruit, eat my daughter fruit roll ups. Like, you got to go. Like, you gotta,
Every
you my
time I'm
son.
in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, eating up all the food, all the pig's feet. You know what I mean? Like one of them type dudes, always in the fridge. Like, come on, bro.
Like you eat a burrito, you eat half a burrito. Like, I'm gonna eat this shit tomorrow. You come back, nigga, you finishing it. You like,
You know what I mean? You got leftovers. I'm gonna finish it tomorrow. Gone. Nope, it's gone. Like, damn. Yeah.
all right, all right. Well, listen, let us know what y'all think, family. Like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.
Until next time.
Probably should be laughing at the homelessness.